शिक्षा विभाग है आपके शुभ आपके शुभ आगमन से धन्य शिक्षा विभाग है।
आपका शीश पाया सबका ये सौभाग्य है।
परम पूज्य हो आप गुणीवर ज्ञान दो वरदान में कुसुमित बहारें छा गई।
पाठ्यक्रम में खुशियों को शामिल जो कर दिया आपने। पाठ्यक्रम में
पग पनी सा पग पनी रे पग पनी गर सनी पग रे ग पनी सा।
पाठ्यक्रम में खुशियों को शामिल जो कर दिया आपने।
दिल्ली के शिक्षा जगत को नया युग दिया आपने। पठन पाठन हो सुगम ये रखेंगे हम ध्यान में। कुसुमित बहारें छा गई कुसुमित बहारें छा गई कुसुमित बहारें छा गई।
Thank you, dear teachers, for such a beautiful rendition of the welcome song. Our esteemed Deputy CM, Mr. Manish Sisodia, recognized the importance of happiness for our students, and the path-breaking concept of happiness curriculum was born. Under the able guidance and leadership of Shri Manish Sisodia, the members of Happiness Curriculum Framework Committee worked tirelessly to frame and design the happiness curriculum, which is now being launched today. Thank you, distinguished guests, for doing the honors of launching the happiness curriculum. The members of the committee are principals and vice principals and teachers of our directorate, Cell for Human Values and Transformative Learning led by Mr. Jang Bahadur, 16 mentor teachers, NGOs, faculty of SCRT, and Dr. Rajesh Kumar, Chairperson, Happiness Committee. We would like to express our appreciation for the hard work put in by this committee. Thank you, dignitaries, for launching this curriculum. As a world leader, a recipient of the Nobel Peace Prize, and being fully committed to benefiting humanity, who else, ladies and gentlemen, could be more apt to enlighten us today about the concept of happiness? It is indeed my proud privilege to invite His Holiness the Dalai Lama to share his views with us and bless us all with his pearls of wisdom. His Holiness the Dalai Lama, ladies and gentlemen.
Respected, my dear friend, Deputy Chief Minister Malve, and Deputy Chief Minister, since many years we know, as a politician, sometimes newspaper you see carries some different views. Then the elder brothers and sisters, and I think most of you, I think younger brothers and younger sisters. I really feel a meaningful sort of meeting, and I feel great honor. You invited me here. And then firstly, I want to express the appreciation you've done. Really make, I think, serious effort. So I really appreciate And you mentioned the existing Indian modern education introduced by British. At that time, I also, you see, same view, same feeling. At that time, I think Indian, as a traditional sort of educated people, scholars, I think should involve India, not one European country. This country, as you mentioned rightly, 3, 4, 5,000 years already, you see, you have certain sort of education or knowledge. So it is quite a pity when modern education introduced here, I think should combine with ancient Indian knowledge. So now you mentioned that, I really very much sort of impressed. Now because I myself, as a student of ancient Indian thought, in 8th century, I think firstly, I think 7th century, Tibetan emperor, in spite of very close relations with Chinese emperor through marriage, but he preferred Tibetan script at that time improve or newly sort of develop. And in a way, you see, he copied Devanagari, one ancient Indian script. So our Tibetan sort of script, alphabet, Kakakanga, Chachahanya, like that. And then 8th century, Tibetan emperor. I think his mother also was one Chinese sort of a princess. And China already is very much, Buddha Dharma very much flourished already in China. But then he preferred, the proper teacher of Buddha Dharma should come from India. So he invited, 8th century, at that time, Nalanda Institution, so Vasudeva, because of the highly...
At its peak.
So, at that time, I think almost the best scholar, a monk, and also, scholar in the field of philosophy, Madhyamika philosophy, as well as Chitta Mantra philosophy, Chandarakshita, great scholar. We can see through his writing how much that person knowledgeable. Then he also great logician. So his writing about logic, there, one of our texts to study. And then his student, Kamalashila, both of them, they invited to Tibet by Tibetan emperor. Then these people introduce Buddha Dharma according to Nalanda tradition. So now today, it seems now the Nalanda tradition, more complete form, I think exists only in Tibetan sort of, monastic institution. So we usually, study these texts over 20, 30 years. I myself also used to study study these texts. When I carried study, I was quite reluctant, lazy student, not much interest for study. But those subjects which I learned with great reluctance, eventually I found very, very useful, this knowledge. So all this knowledge, firstly, I think the Madhyamika philosophy give us the wider perspective and reach deeper level of reality. Wonderful. I think the very destructive emotion, very much based on appearances. So the knowledge, the deeper reality, like quantum physics, very helpful to tackle our destructive emotion. Then the way is to approach these things, we use extensively logical approach. Buddha himself, told us, you should not accept my teaching out of faith, out of devotion, but rather thorough investigation. So some of his followers, like Nagarjuna, Chandrakirti, they even use some Buddha's own teaching which give a certain sort of audience. So according to that sort of mental disposition, Buddha taught certain sort of certain concept. So that then later Nagarjuna and these people rejected Buddha's own sort of text or teaching, sutra. If you accept this Buddha's teaching literally, it goes against reason. Therefore, we must reject. It's quite unique. So, this master, taught us the logical approach. Everything. Investigate and experiment. So therefore, according to Nalanda tradition, these Buddhist masters, since they very much emphasis on reason, experiment, therefore our thinking very scientific way. So last over 30 years, I have serious discussion with modern scientists. As a result, now it becomes very clear, meeting with scientists, mainly cosmology, 4 fields, cosmology, neurobiology, physics, particularly quantum physics, and then psychology. It's very useful, mutual learning. So all these knowledge come from Nalanda. Before, one great Tibetan, spiritual leaders as well as great scholar, he expressed, till light of India reached Tibet, Tibet, in spite land of snow, still dark. Only after India's light reached there, then Tibet become bright. It's quite true. So I always say, expressing, traditionally, historically, we are chela of Indian Guru. And also, I usually say telling, we are not only chela, but quite reliable, trusted chela. Truly. So over 1,000 years, look, in India itself, like Nalanda, ruined, nothing there. But all this knowledge we kept over 1,000 years. So now is my main point is, as a now nearly 83-year-old person, I have a lot of sort of meeting with different people and watching the world, then a lot of trouble. Many of these trouble, besides nature disaster, many of them are our own creation. According to scientists, basic human nature is more compassionate. Yet we created a lot of problem through anger, hatred, jealousy, suspicion. So now, the modern education, nothing to offer regarding inner peace, because modern education very much oriented about material value. So, see, every country, humanity, through modern education, then they create materialistic culture, materialistic life. So external values are very difficult to bring inner peace. So therefore, now I always is telling everywhere, now just materialistic education is not sufficient. Now we should look inner value. These days I describe the hygiene of physical in our education. In education, hygiene of physical, they are good. Now we need hygiene of emotion in our education. Very important. Healthy physical, but mentally much disturbed mind, and then the healthy physical sometimes you see create more trouble. So the healthy physical, similarly, same time, is a healthy mind, then very good. So now, I think whole world need some kind of moral ethics, education about moral ethics, not based on religion, but based on our common sense and scientific finding. So when I carry this message with conviction, then look India. Over 3,000 years, education about our mind already there. So, in order to tackle our emotion, this country developed practice of shamatha, practice of vipassana. Before Buddha come, already exists the practice of shamatha, practice of vipassana. So Buddha himself, product of ancient Indian culture.